wonder if one of the um, things in terms of being a father is you and I both probably know some of the sort of what we call ethic notions or stereotypes they have about black men being
Oh
fathers.
God, yeah. I fight those every day.
Yeah.
Like, and I hate that I have to fight it. And I've had to tell them, like, my girlfriend now will say certain things, and I'll come back and be like, well, this is what I do for, with my daughter. And she was like, well, we know. And I was like, you don't understand why I say that. And she was, I had to literally break it down for her. Like, people look for me not to be a dad.
Yeah.
Not because, I'm younger and things, I'm black. People look for me not to be a father. I was like, where's my real dad? And she, you know, he's on I shouldn't say this, but he's on somebody's like altar right now, but or fireplace rather. But I'm like, realistically, I hadn't seen my dad since I was 2. Like I don't tell people this a lot. If it wasn't for pictures, I wouldn't know what he looked like. Like uh, hey, like literally be like, if he came up and slapped me in the face, Mama, this man just slapped me in my face. Like I wouldn't know him. So I was like, I have to, and I told my daughter this not too long ago. I have to work 10 times as hard to be equal in that, be yoked equally.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I hate it. Even like at one point, me and her mother were. Her mom has had a very traumatic upbringing too. At one point, she was a ward of the state. Things of that nature. So she doesn't do the best with relationships. Like any relationship is just like chaotic for her in a sense. So it got to a point where I didn't tell her that I was dating my current girlfriend because I knew how it would play. Like I knew it would be a situation where we would fight more. She would try to keep my baby from me, things like that. So I kind of withheld that, and I didn't like it at all. But I knew what I was dealing with, so you deal with it the best you can, and that's how I did. So when it finally came out and everything, for a few months after that, like 6 months after that, it was fighting, fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually I just got tired of it. Like, look, I'm taking her to court. And I took her to court. And court, up until a certain point, was the worst experience of my life. And the reason I say that is because for fathers, and I hear a lot of this online too, but for fathers going to family court, man, I've never, ever, ever felt more devalued in my life.
So there's a lot to take in this first clip. He talks about the challenges of being a black father and attitudes and assumptions people have about that, as well as his experience of not knowing his own father. And he makes some strong statements that he has to work 10 times as hard, and then ends with this other statement that it was the worst experience of his life. He never felt more, or more specifically, he never felt more devalued than his experience in the court.
He wasn't expecting for people to value his fatherhood. In fact, he doesn't even think that people will consider him to be a father, but willing to stand up in court for his fatherhood. And that says a lot about who he is.
Right. I know one of the things you and I have talked about is that there's a lot of stereotypes. Society doesn't expect, in some way, African American men to be good fathers. We hear so much more about the failures than the successes.
Those painful legal experiences that many black men and many black fathers experience will have some of them to just give up. And in Carver's situation, he doesn't expect that the legal system is going to treat him fairly. But what he is saying, I am determined to not allow the absence of my father to show up in his relationship with his daughter.